Wild Mamas and friends, and welcome back to Wild Mom TV. I am Tiff, and in today's video I want to talk to you all about decision making. How do you know if you're making the right decision versus the wrong decision? So many mamas are plagued with fear around making the wrong decision versus the right decision. So much so that they often make no decision or they get stuck in inaction. They get in their heads in inaction or they get stuck in their heads and they're constantly like worrying about whether or not this decision is right for them or wrong for them. And so I want to give you relief by sharing a very practical tip and tool and strategy around how you can make decisions in a way that goes far beyond just the basic, is this right or wrong? I have a different and alternative approach to how to think about decision making. And so if you're someone navigating a different change or a career next step or just weighing different options in your life and trying to figure out which way to go, then stick around because I think that this video is really going to help you out. Okay, so let's get started because I'm so excited about this topic. You'd actually be very, very surprised with how common this question is of tip. Is this right for me? Is this wrong for me? How do I know if I'm making the right decision or the wrong decision? But that's where I want to stop you right there. We are going to shift our thinking from right versus wrong to informed and aligned. So I'll explain why in a bit, but I want you to recognize how polarizing right and wrong can be. It's so I don't know, I feel like there's so much assumption in right versus wrong, like you should just already know. And this is what really trips mamas up so much because they think that, oh, if I'm aligned to myself, if I know what I want in my life, then when a decision comes, I should just automatically know. I should know what to do. And if it's taking me longer than a day or a week to make a decision, then something is wrong with me. And that can often keep them from pursuing something that they might actually be interested in. It can cause them to sabotage themselves out of decisions. It can make them seek validation from everyone else or go around looking for everyone else to make the decision for them because they're so afraid of making the wrong decision, or they just don't trust themselves because making the decision for themselves is taking a lot longer than they think it should. And so I want us to go beyond right versus wrong to informed and aligned. So I'm going to explain those briefly. So informed decision making for me is about giving yourself the opportunity to do your due diligence. So again, I don't believe that there's really right or wrong decisions necessarily because we're all so different and we have so many different things happening in our lives at any given time. And so what's right for you might not be right for me. It's like what's right for me today might not be right tomorrow. It's like I feel like right and wrong is just so limited. But informed, it takes into account who you are. And an informed decision allows you to research and do due diligence, ask questions. I think for us as mamas, we tend to feel like whatever opportunity comes my way, I better take it. Or if this is coming to me, I gotta settle. Like I can't say no because if I say no, I'm ungrateful. Or if I say, yes, I might be compromising what I actually want and need in my life. And so, we're all about making aligned decisions in our lives in order to actualize our lifestyle plans and our ideal lifestyle dreams and whatnot. And so it's really important for us to make decisions that are aligned to those ultimate goals. But if you make decisions too quick or only think about it in a right versus wrong kind of mentality, you're limiting yourself and you're keeping yourself from your ability to realize these dreams in the long term. And so informed is simply about allowing yourself to ask questions, allowing yourself to go through different layers of the process to figure out whether or not something is right for you or not. And I'm going to give you some questions and some tips and tools for how you can actually do that in more of like a practical, methodical way. So be sure to stick around for that. On the the other side, we have aligned. And so once you do your due diligence and you feel more informed, then you can make a decision that's aligned to you, and not just aligned to, like a broad perspective of yourself, but no, like actually specifically aligned to your vision, to your values, and to your whole self. If you haven't watched that video, be sure to watch it here, where we talk about the core pillars that help you stay kind of grounded even in the midst of change and uncertainty, and they were your vision, your values, and your whole self. These are 3 core pillars that I live my whole life around, and they're things that we can actually control. So making an aligned decision is making a decision aligned to your vision, your values, and your whole self. What do you actually want and why? What do you actually value and why? Who are you as your whole being at this point in your life? Not 10 years ago, not 2 years ago, not even a year ago, but today. Who are you today, and what do you want and why? And how can you make every decision aligned to that? So once you do your due diligence, you can kind of figure out, is this opportunity actually aligned to my vision? Is this opportunity aligned to my values? Is this opportunity aligned to my whole self? Once you go through that process, then you can decide, yes, this is for me, or no, this is not for me, and you can feel good about it. A lot of mamas, I find, make decisions that are just so surface level, based on kind of the right versus wrong, that they never actually feel settled in their decision. They made the decision, but they don't feel necessarily settled or at peace, and it kind of keeps coming up, or it taunts them or haunts them. They have guilt, all of the things. And so by making an informed decision, a really thorough decision that ultimately is truly aligned to you, you have peace. You have peace, and you can let it go. If it's a no, you know why it's a no, and if it's a yes, you know why it's a yes. And what clarity that brings, and peace that brings to your life. It's just amazing. So again, I want you to replace, and you should probably write this down, but I want you to replace thinking about decisions in a right and wrong framework to an informed and aligned framework. So now I want to take you through just a really brief sort of step-by-step process with some questions. I have my notebook as always, but with some questions and things that you can ask yourself and think about as you're considering whatever opportunity you have on your plate, or maybe you're thinking about moving to another location, or should I quit my job, should I take this new job, whatever decision you're looking to make at this point, you can use this process to help you. Okay, so one question that you can start with, after you make that mindset shift, we're thinking about, I want to make an informed decision. So what's a way that I can make an informed decision? So one of the first things that you can do that's very simple in weeding out and filtering this decision is, do I want to entertain this? Do I even, am I even interested in this opportunity? Am I even interested in this potential direction that I would move in my life? It's so basic, but it's so important, because a lot of times if an opportunity comes, we just think we automatically should consider it or automatically should take it, but we're not really considering ourselves, what we want, who we are, etc. Oftentimes, because mamas tend to think about everyone else, right? So a job comes, oh, potential money, I can take care of my family, I can help everybody else. But do you actually want that? Is that what's gonna make you happy? So being sure to consider it. So do you want to entertain this? Yes or no? So if it's a yes, I want you to think about why. And if it's a no, I want you to think about why. And if it's like a maybe, I kind of do and I kind of don't, ask yourself why. And so if it's a no, then you stop right there, you politely decline, and you move on, because you know why you're saying no. However, even if you're not completely sure if the opportunity or the decision is fully aligned to you, you know that you still at least want to explore it a bit further, right? You want more information. And so if it's a yes, or even if it's a maybe, I would say, okay, move to the next step, right? It's safe enough to move to the next step. What we often tend to do is we try to make the decision like before it's even an option. Like, for example, being invited to like apply to a job, or like you find a job that you're really kind of interested in. A lot of times our decision tends to be, do I want the job or not? But you haven't even been offered the job. Like maybe in some cases you're at a later stage and you have been offered, but a lot of times we haven't even been offered the job. Like we haven't even been offered the opportunity. It's just a potential, it's just a seed, but it hasn't fully grown yet. And so this is where we often need to kind of like slow down, slow your roll, because you can't make a decision that there's no decision to make. That you can't decide if you want a job or not if you haven't been offered the job. So right now, all you want to think about is, am I interested enough to pursue it, to ask questions, to do more due diligence? Do I want to know more? That's all you need to worry about at this stage. And if it's a yes, then pass go and collect your $200. And if it's not, then stop, and that's it, and you can move on. It's like totally okay. So if it's a yes or even a maybe, and you're like, yeah, I do want to think about this, I do think I'm interested in pursuing, even just learning more about this opportunity, then I want you to move on to this next step. And so this is where I want you to think about, how does this potential opportunity or job or life change and transition or move align to my vision? How does it align to my values? How does it align to my whole self? So I gave you all the activities in the last video around how to figure this out in 2 videos ago. But it's important to think about how would it fit in with your ideal lifestyle vision that you have for yourself, right? If you're thinking about your values, is this even aligned to my values? And so you want to go through that basic filtering step to see whether or not it's aligned. And if it is, or if it's like feeling like it feels good, it feels like it is aligned to your vision, to your values, to your whole self, there's some things you want to figure out, but it feels aligned, then move on to the next step. And so the next question that I want you to ask yourself is, what would you need, or what would I need to make this a hell yes decision? What would I need to make this a hell yes? And so we don't want to make like half-baked decisions. We don't want to make decisions that are like half-hearted or not 100%, right? Like we don't have time and energy to waste. And so we want to make decisions that are really actually fully aligned and that you can put your whole self behind. And so we want decisions that are a hell yes. We don't want decisions that are like, I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna just try it out. Because this is your energy, this is your time, this is your life. We got things to do. We have a lifestyle vision to actualize in this life. And so, if you know anything about me or Wild Mama, or, mamas who have done my program, we don't mess around when it comes to actualizing our goals and our lifestyle vision and our plans and living a life fully aligned to our vision, our values, and our whole self. It is not a game. And so you want to make sure that you're really making a decision that is a hell yes, that you can fully get behind. Okay, so this was all really, really simple. And so I just want to recap really fast for you what we talked about today. So first, you're going to replace thinking about decisions in a right and wrong fashion to thinking about making informed and aligned decisions, right? Aligned to your vision, your values, your whole self, who you are, what you want, right? So that's the first thing. And then the first main question you want to ask yourself is, do you even want to entertain this opportunity? Is this something that is interesting to you and feels good to you? Not what's good for everybody else, but what's actually good for you and going to make you happy. And then I want you to think about, how is it aligned to your vision, to your values, and to your whole self, right? So if you think about those things and you watch that video and you write out You know, what's your vision? What's your values? Who are you as your whole being? How does this opportunity or this next step or this vision or this opportunity align to those things? And then I want you to think about what would help you make this decision be a hell yes. What would you need to make this decision a hell yes decision? So I want to just encourage you, take your time with decisions, right? Your time matters. Your time is sacred. You don't need to know whether a decision is, you know, aligned to you or not right off the bat. That doesn't indicate that you're more aligned to who you are. You know yourself better. I think it often demonstrates more self-awareness if you take your time to ask the right questions and to figure out whether or not something is aligned to you. I have tons of questions when new opportunities come my way, and I say no a lot because there's so many things coming at me always that really do not help me move forward to actualize my lifestyle vision and my goals. And so for me, that's just very, very important. I don't mess around with that. And so I do say no a lot, but I'm filtering decisions all the time. The more that you practice this, the easier it will get and the quicker you'll get with the decision making. So I don't want you to get caught up in perfectionism, making the right decision versus the wrong decision. It's too much pressure. Just focus on, hey, do I want to entertain this? Okay, yes. How can I get more informed about this opportunity to figure out whether or not it's truly aligned to me? And once you do that, you can come to the final question. Is it aligned? Yes. Is it not aligned? No. Okay, move forward. That's it. So I hope you found this video helpful. I found this shift in mentality super, super beneficial for me, and it's really helped my mamas as well. So I'm sending you lots of love. Please subscribe to my channel if you're finding a lot of value in learning from me. And every Tuesday, I'll be sharing more videos with lots of practical tips and tools and strategies for how to heal, be whole, and live aligned to the energy of your soul as a mama. All right, peace, y'all, and I'll see you next week.